The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, begins brainwashing people in kindergarten. They are taught to believe that anyone who criticizes the CCP is their enemy and seeks to control China. Whenever anyone in the international community doesn't agree with the CCP, they will brand them as anti-China and then proceeds to brainwash the Chinese people into believing the new narrative. There are many Chinese people who can be easily tricked into believing this, but there are also discerning people. Today, we interview two of them from Wuhan, Mr. Chen Yang and Ms. Liu. Chen Yang is a Wuhan native who has been brainwashed by the CCP. His father, a CCP member who deeply believes in the party, didn't have an opportunity to be hospitalized even after becoming critically ill from the novel coronavirus. Chen Yang had to contact an overseas media to expose the truth. After doing this, he was able to get his father hospitalized. His father is still receiving treatment at the hospital. Since the outbreak, Chen Yang has been locked down in his home and is in good health.
There isn't any freedom to choose under the CCP because the TVs and newspapers continuously brainwash their audience. I was also brainwashed under its education. The CCP states it has laws and human rights, and I used to believe they were protecting my rights and interests under the law. So I filed a lawsuit to protect my rights, but as a result, the CCP sent me to a mental hospital under the guise of paranoid psychosis. This is how the CCP rules China. If you believe the CCP and file a report or appeal against the CCP, it will label you as having a mental illness. If you don't blindly follow its rule, it will manipulate the laws to persecute you. There's no way to rationally deal with the CCP. For example, my father is a communist. He unquestionably believes in the party's lies. He doesn't have original thought or discernment and instead blindly goes along with the party. If the party were to lead him into a pit, he would jump into it. This time, my father became infected with the CCP virus. With his faith in the party, he was looking for a CCP hospital, but medical staff told him there were no beds available and ordered him to go home and wait. So my father went home and waited. He waited over 10 days, and now he's dying. And to make matters worse, they kept telling us to go to another hospital while he was already dying. I reached out to overseas media to help expose the evilness of the CCP and its persecution of its own people. After the CCP found out they were condemned for persecuting their own people, they then let my father be admitted to a hospital. However, after my father was admitted to the hospital, the CCP resumed its brainwashing tactics again. Quote, believe in the Communist Party. Its brainwashing does have an effect on ignorant people. As for myself, who were once deceived by it, we can no longer be deceived by it. If you believe in the party, you're condemning yourself to death. It's evil. Only by distancing yourself from the CCP and escaping the CCP's brainwashing tactics can you get your life back. If you believe in the CCP, it will persecute your families even after you die. The Chinese Communist Party is an evil organization.
The regime's purpose is to cover up the facts and disguise the truth to deceive, persecute, and brainwash people. I've seen a lot of people on WeChat groups who have been duped. They are still praising the CCP. They believe it's patriotism. Ever since the outbreak until now, I've been very concerned about my friends and family in Wuhan and Hubei. I've patiently disclosed the truth to them, but they refuse to listen. They feel I've offended them. They've blocked me and don't even speak to me. I'm being ignored. They believe I'm the one who's being deceived by anti-communist propaganda and say that I speak nonsense. I try to persuade them not to return to work. As long as the 2 annual CCP meetings in Beijing are not taking place, it's best not to return to work. But some people refuse to listen. They want to return to work because otherwise they'll starve to death. I also patiently spoke to them, informing them that even if there's no money, they should try to stay alive. Don't return to work. If one person becomes infected, then their entire family is doomed. Chinese state media is spreading propaganda that the Americans caused this disaster, the spread of the virus. They listen to the hate speech instigated by the regime. They hate the United States and they hate so-called foreign anti-China forces. The origin of the virus is still unclear, yet the Communist Party is asking its people to be grateful for the regime. What should we be grateful for? For killing so many people? For allowing so many innocent people to die by suicide?